Hello and welcome to Optional Enterprises Watchlist for December 29th, 2019, going into the week of December 30th, New Year's week. Right now, the date is December 29th, 2019, and we're going to be looking at our watch list for this week. Currently, the time is a little after 5 o'clock, about 5:18 p.m., and we're going to jump right on in. Today we're looking at ticker symbol NKE, Nike, and this one is definitely looking like it could push up higher. So if we're looking for a push, we want to see it get above this 102 for a push up to 105, and you can see that right here. So you can see our 102s here, got about 3,000 traded on those on Friday afternoon, and we can see that our open interest dies off right around 105. So this could certainly be looking for a push up through there. We want to see it get through that 102 before we look for an entry in to 105. However, if we take a quick look at this particular option chain, and we bring this down to the 1 minute chart, just look at the day, we can see where a lot of this option activity started taking place. So we see big volume spikes here, 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 and here. So that's where a lot of our option volume took place. You can see that it took place at the high of the day. Of course, this is on bullish activity. Nike was up 86 cents on Friday. So does this mean that we're looking at some bullish buyers or some bearish sellers up at these high points here? I'm leaning more bearish, given we are in a bull market and stocks remain bullish until proven otherwise. But a pullback wouldn't be uncalled for. So we just take a look back at Nike here, and we can see that we're kind of bouncing off that previous high. But we've got some serious selling activity on the 1 minute chart. I'd be looking for it to get below that 101.40, which would also violate this trend line, and we could be looking for a pullback down to 101. After a break on 101, we're looking for 111. Now we've got an expected move of $1.72 this week, so that brings us down to around $99.88, which kind of corresponds with this $100 support level, which is where a pretty large volume sell came in, and we had another large buyer come in right at that area to support. So again, looking for it to break above 102. Break above 102 for 105. However, if we can get below 101.40, I'd be looking for a short down to 111. That's the play for Nike this week. And we're going to move on to the next one. Alright guys, so our next symbol here is NXPI. This is a semiconductor. And just to kind of give you a quick idea of where we're at with semiconductors, we can see SOXL far away from our major trend line, and definitely looking at a reversal in SOXL. You can see we still got a lot of bullish activity here though. So, bullish activity up to 310. Not huge contracts. We saw that we had some added on some bearish activity though. 229 added on Friday or Thursday into Friday, which to me suggests we've got some sellers in the market as far as the ETF is concerned. That's about 20 days out right now. So this could be an early seller to the party, looking to get a nice little pullback. So my reason for choosing NXPI and not say AMD or Broadcom or Nvidia, some of the bigger names, is NXPI's got a pretty clear trade idea in it, and we're going to jump over to the option chain to see that. Okay, so these 1022 contracts were added very recently. Alright, so I'm over here on our ThinkBack option chain, and we can see that on the 26th we had these 1000 added at 92 by 97 cents. Those were, of course, the closing prices of the day. So if we jump back over and see what it was doing on that particular day, we can see that we had large selling that day. So a lot of puts added on bearish activity. That definitely tells us that we're looking for a nice little sell, and we can see we've got a nice little support level going on here. So I'd be looking for it to get below the low of the 26th for a short down. So let's bring this back up to our year chart. I'm going to go to the 26th, and it looks like our low was 127.53. So a low of 127.53, that would be our support level. So we'll just mark that as our support for, and I'd be looking for a short back down to this 126.07, which is supported by our $2.93 expected move. So that'd be about $3. This one's looking for around 125 to be its resting point this week. And that, I'm not really bullish on this at all, so if it doesn't violate that area, then we just leave it alone and wait for this one to follow through. But this large trade on this either tells us that we're going to see a pullback to 127, we're not going to break it, or we're going to shoot right through 127. So we're going to go back to the chart. And real quick, we're bearish. We're looking for a break of the 26th or 127.53, and we're going to short it down to around 125. That's the play for NXPI this week. We're going to jump off over to our next one. Okay, so our next one here is MAR. This is Marriott International Hotels. And again, this is going to be in our consumer discretionary. Oops. So looking at the sector, although Marriott I do not believe is part of the Spider XLY, we can see that we had a dark cloud cover, which means that this could possibly retrace another 50% into this candle, which is good for about $1. So going back to MAR, we can see we've got about the same thing. It's a dark cloud cover, and we are at a very critical area. This is a previous trend line. We bring this out to our monthly chart. We can see that is the top. That is our top trend line right there. And we are just closing above it. So that's going to be a critical area for us to watch. Now there's not a whole lot of trading going on with this right now. So the trade isn't clear. But we do have some small bearish bets going into this. So I'd be looking for it to break below the high of this candle, which is right around where this trend line intersects. see if we can illustrate that better for you. So we're looking for it to break that area, which is right where that high of that candle breaks off. So the high of this candle is 152.36. So pretty simply, we're going to look for it to break 152.46 for a short down of about $2 down to this lower support level, which is around 151.76. Say 151.55. Alright, so 151.55 is going to be our short target for this one. That'd be about $1, so you'd make about 50% on your money for this one. Not great money, but still, the trade is there, it looks good. So we're looking for a break of 152.46 for a short down to 151.55. Now keep in mind, this is a very generous target. We take a look at our expected move this week. Looking at around $2.50. So $2.50 from its current position would bring us down to around 150.20, which is kind of just below this area. This would be right around down here, which violates some pretty major support areas, namely this support area right here, which is around the 150.80 area. But that's it for Marriott International. We're looking for a short, not looking for any longs into this one. The trade just isn't there for the longs. Jump over to our open interest real quick to kind of briefly describe it. And a pretty good signal that we're going to be looking for is these 150s. We'd like to see some trading in these 150s. That's going to be a pretty good indicator that the short's ready to fire off. So on to the next one. Alright, so our next one here is Halliburton. We're looking for a short reversal on this one, or a bullish continuation. So first we'll jump over to the open interest, which shows a lot of interesting activity. So a lot of these 2550s, these were recently added, and by recently added I'm talking these were added within last week. So these look like sells, meaning that we're probably not going to see 2550 this week. It's possible that it might pull up to 2550, but another thing to take a look at is the sector. So if we go over, we can see that this is energy. So jumping over to our energy sectors, we can see that XLE is starting to pull back pretty strongly, and Halliburton is part of XLE. It's also part of XOP, and we can see we've got a lot of activity around these puts. Even more so, Friday traded into, or Thursday, Friday. These are Friday's options. We see we've got about 6,000, almost 7, being traded on these 60 and 61s. Cheap money, considering where we're at. Now we also see a lot of adding. So this is a bearish day. We had 932 traded and added Thursday and Friday on the 63. So that's calling a top in my opinion. And we could be looking for this to come down to around 60. Now XLE is only looking around 79 cents as far as an expected move, so that'd bring us down to around 61. However, 79 cents on the other side would bring us up about another, say that'd be around 62.40, so just short of 63. So XLE could be a certain range bound movement, and range bound usually means selling. So Halliburton's more likely to sell off if XLE stays range bound, and if it goes down, then Halliburton's definitely likely to go down with it. So back to Halliburton. Another thing to keep in mind is Halliburton has had some very large prints recently, and we're currently below those. So, but we're going to just focus on the chart, and we're looking for it to fall below 24.25. For a short to 23.69, which fits the expected move. It doesn't fall in one of our supports. We could see as little as 23.97, but 23.69 fits the expected move of around 79 cents, and that is all we're looking for on Halliburton this week. So off to the next one. And of course, I've saved the best for last. We've got 3 big names this week, Baba being one of them. Alibaba Group, if you've been following it over in China, has been doing nothing but going higher. This was expected to reach around 220, and we can see that we've got an inside day, sold off into our support level here. Around 214.65, did not break it. So that definitely is telling us something. We take a look at our open interest over here, and it doesn't really give us a lot of room to guess. 225 being the highest strike with some serious open interest in it, but we did have a lot of trading on that one particularly. So the best thing to do is take a look at those 225s and see where a lot of that trading took place. Alright, so we can see that for the day, a good portion of this trading took place at the highs of the day. So, are these option sellers expecting that we're not going to see 225 this week? I would agree that they are. So at the very minimum, we can deduce that we're not looking for 225 this week. On a heavy selling day into support, I would be looking for support to hold. At the very minimum, 213.35 to hold for a rise back up. That would confirm our trend line right here. That being our critical area. So you could be looking for a short Monday into Tuesday into Wednesday, and then hold the 213.35 for a rise up higher to the 220 areas. But if we take a look at our trading that happened for Baba, we can see just calls being added. We had some serious puts being added, and these gentlemen turned out to be right. A big thing that we want to look at is these 3,000 that were traded on the 215s. So let's take a look at those and see where a lot of that trading took place. If I had to speculate, I would say that a lot of the trading took place around the lows of the day. So we see our biggest volume is being bought into rises. Again, this is a very bearish thing, unless we are in fact ready for a pretty strong pullback. But we had some pretty large buying happening down here. And price only went up from there, almost 100% that day. So the buyers down here definitely suggest a bearish sentiment, and buyers up here definitely suggest bullish sentiment, as I mean, these are buyers as well, so somebody bought right here, but these could also be seller initiated. So right now BABA is, it's really 50-50, but it is triggered for a reversal. So again, always leaning to the side of the reversal. So jumping back over to the chart, we want to see it break 214.65 for a short down. See, we've got about a $5.50 expected move on this week, so that brings us down to around 210. So just so we're real clear, we're looking for it to break 214.65 for a short down to, we'll say 211.12, which is our closest support zone. However, if we start to see 213.35 hold, I'd be looking to enter longs up to 220. So breaks this critical area, we're looking for a fallback down to our 211.12 area for about $5 or around 200 to 300% return on your money. However, if it falls down and we start to see support around this 213.35 area, we could be looking for a fall, confirmation of this trend and support level, and a bounce back up. Looking for around 220 to be our target to the upside. Again, that supports the $5.50 move. 215, 220 would be a $5 from the closing price. So again, we've got $5. We've got plus or minus $5 to the upside or downside from currently 215.47. That's going to cover about 68% of the occurrences. So pretty easy, right? Break 214.65 for a short down to 211. If, however, we find that it's holding 213.35, we're looking for a rise up to 220. And that's it for BABA. Off to the next one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Next one here is Apple. Apple Incorporated. Big name. I know this chart's a little cluttered, but anybody who's been trading it obviously has been keeping close track of it. This one's finally triggered for a reversal. However, Apple is very bullish, so we need these areas to hold that we're looking for them to break. So right now we're looking for it to break below 288.12 for our first target of 284.82. Now that's a very big move on Apple. Okay, that'd be about 1%. Given the state of Apple, percent moves don't happen often. So you really want to see it get below that 288.12 before you decide to get in for the 284.82. Also, take profits quickly. At least that's what I would be doing. The big thing that signals a reversal, obviously, is that it came up on my scanner. And we've got 17,000 being traded at the 290 area. So we're about 20 cents away from that. If we can get above that 290, then we're bullish. Back up to these 292, 295, maybe all the way up to maybe around 297.50, which is where open interest seems to die off. I'm focusing on this right here. These are where all the big numbers are. 290s, we got 45,000, 44,000, 30,000. Hundreds of millions of dollars being traded on Apple right now. Got some small, this is small in comparison to what's going on here. So again, those are the areas that you want to be focusing on. We want to be focusing at the money strikes. Don't see a lot of people lightening up on positions. So there's not a whole lot supporting a reversal, but it was triggered on the scanner. So again, I'll always be looking for the scanner to initiate my trade. So back over to the chart. Looking at these critical areas right here, 288.12, we want that to break before we look for a short down to this area right here, 284.82, which would essentially confirm this trend line, as this candle is going to be drawn out right there. It would confirm this lower trend line right here. I definitely wouldn't be looking for it to go much lower than that. However, if we start to see this 288.12 area hold, then again we could be looking up higher to 297.50, which is about 10 bucks, a little more than the expected move. Let's go take a look at that expected move right now. So we're looking at around $9 expected move, so the 297 would be fairly consistent with the $9 expected move, and our 284 would be a little on the generous side as far as a short, as that's only about $5 away. 280 would be a little more realistic. So again, with the expected move, we're looking at plus or minus $9, which brings us to around 297.50 or this 280 level. Those are our targets this week, and 288.12 is really going to be that critical area. You want to see it kind of hold that 288.12. Wouldn't be looking to get bullish unless it holds there, it stays above there. Wouldn't be looking to get bearish unless it stays below 288.12. So real quick, one more time, this is signaled a reversal short below 288.12 to 284.12. If, however, the 288.12 area holds with a close above it, looking to enter long for 295 to 297.50. Pretty easy play on Apple. Don't want to get too carried away with it. We are again at the highs. Very scary to buy up here, but that seems to have been the story all year long. So that's it for Apple. Gonna move on to the next. Alright guys, and last but not least, Tesla. Been the name of the month. If you've been trading this, you've been doing extremely well. Currently, Tesla is looking at a reversal, been signaled. All the indicators are right. The only thing that is worrisome for this particular trade is our open interest. There are not a lot of believers in this short. However, we do have some pretty highly convicted sellers on the call side. I don't believe we're going to get too much higher. 440 being the resistance level. We do have some minor hedging, so we could see something as low as 420 this week. Triggered for a reversal, so I'm not going to go too in depth on this one because the open interest can be daunting at best to try and interpret. It's all speculative at the end of the day. We're just going to go over, and we're looking for a break of 426.11. Again, we're looking at a $23 expected move, so waiting $4, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Let me say that again. It's not a big deal to wait $4 for your confirmation. $23 expected move. That is a huge move, guys. That's in 5 days. We're looking at a standard deviation of $23. Okay, so that's going to bring us down to 407. We'll say 410 or 455, which would be somewhere right around up here. So 426 is going to be my critical area this level, this week. For longs, I'm looking for 426 to hold. For shorts, I'm looking for an entry below 426. Again, this is all going to depend on the option order flow and the volume at the time. Pretty hard to tell. Again, this is signal for reversals, so my indicator is generally right. So I tend to stick with it. That's why I put YouTube videos up about it. Looking for 426 as my short entry. Below 426, I'd be looking to get out around 418.36. Even though we could be looking for something as low as 407. We know stocks do not travel in straight lines. Tesla has had heavy trading. Any fallback is going to be bought up furiously. So you don't want to stay in a short too long. That's it for my watch list this week. Again, this is Optional Enterprises. The date is December 29th. And this is the watch list going into December 30th, the week of New Year's. Happy New Year's, everybody. I will see you next year. Thank you for watching. Wishing you profits. Talk to you till next time.